Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. After watching this video that was produced by Basics of Sikhi, where a young Sikh from Russian background says that she has found Sikhi through practicing Kundalini Yoga, I really question whether she has found Sikhi or if she has found Yogi Bhajan's tantric Kundalini Yoga twisted form of Sikhi. Now this young woman, apparently from Russia, has said here in the video from Basics of Sikhi, some years ago I started practicing Kundalini Yoga and I came to a sadhana where Japji Sab is recited. Now, as many of you know, I spent 30 years with Yogi Bhajan's Tantric Kundalini Yoga group. So I am really qualified to ask these questions about whether this young woman has found true Sikhi or whether she's found this twisted form of Yogi Bhajan's Kundalini Yoga and Tantric Yoga. So I encourage this young woman and also Sikhs who are looking at Kundalini Yoga and at Yogi Bhajan's group to really explore and to research the truth. Here are some examples about how Yogi Bhajan's twisted form of Kundalini and Tantric Yoga are influencing these young innocent people who might want to get involved in this group and are looking to get involved and become Sikhs. These are some of the Yogi Bhajan Tantric people. Sanatana Kaur here on the end, this Gurmukh Kaur, they all worship these Hindu gods and goddesses. So look beyond what these Yogi Bhajan Tantric Kundalini yogis are doing and look to real Gur Sikhs and not to them for the true form of Sikhi. Here's this Gurmukh Kaur. She's worshiping the Shiv Lingam and doing all of these Hindu practices here. SikhNet also is involved in this and promoting these Shiv Shakti worships, which are against Sikh values and against the Sikh philosophy. You can see here how they've printed articles about this Gurmukh Kaur, who's actually hosted a completely Hindu wedding for 3HO people there in the Pramat Nikirtan Ashram there in Rishikesh. Now I'll mention also how this Aquarian sadhana, which this young Russian woman speaks about, includes Japji Sab, but it also includes many of these Hindu mantras and anti-Sikh worships during the sadhana. And sadhana itself is a word that is from Hindu origins. It is not part of the Sikh practices. In fact, none of this Tantric and Kundalini Yoga is part of the real Sikh practices. So I would pray that this young Russian woman looks beyond Yogi Bhajan's group for true Sikhi, and she doesn't rely on the Yogi Bhajan group for guidance in true Sikhi. That also goes for Basics of Sikhi too. I'm not sure exactly what Basics of Sikhi's involvement is with 3HO and Yogi Bhajan's group, but it is suspect that Basics of Sikhi would print this about how this young Russian woman has supposedly found Sikhi through this Kundalini Yoga. Now you can see these pictures here, how Yogi Bhajan people worship Yogi Bhajan and also this Baba Siri Chand. You can see there that idol there in the background. And Yogi Bhajan himself was involved with Indira Gandhi. And there are many really questionable practices by the SikhNet and 3HO people. that should definitely be examined. And again, I really encourage this young woman who is exploring Sikhi to go beyond what Yogi Bhajan's group is teaching and to look and follow true Sikh teachings and not these Yogi Bhajan practices. Yogi Bhajan people do these, as they call them, sadhanas, these yoga exercises and Hindu mantras inside the Darbar of the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib there. And you can see them here practicing that. This is in Espanola, New Mexico. I'm sure many of you have seen some of my videos where we explore many of these un-Sikh-like practices in detail. And so I won't go into all of them. But just from the pictures here, you can see many of these things that are completely against Sikhi and very alarming, to say the least. For more information, you can explore my website and gurmukhyoga.com, and then also Facebook pages where I have posted in detail about how these un-Sikh-like practices are influencing many Sikhs and newcomers to Sikhi as well. This is a great article here that was published by the Sikh Free Press. It's called American Yogis Distort Sikh Scripture. And it goes into detail about how Yogi Bhajan and his group twist the Sikh scriptures, the Gurbani, in order to fit their twisted form of Sikhi. They use images of the Darbar Sahib to sell their yogi tea. It's very disrespectful. And they have candy bars that use Gurbani, which is completely against the Sikh Maryada. Here is one of their tantric yoga sessions. You can see Yogi Bhajan himself there just looming over this tantric yoga and controlling these people with his tantric yoga spells. These are the actual tantric yoga courses the 3HO people participate in. And they worship this Baba Siri Chand too. You can see here, this was an actual picture I took when I was visiting down there in Espanola, New Mexico, how they put donations and they put garlands around this idol, worship it. These are inappropriate actions for people to be taking. These are actual pictures from a tantric yoga course that the Yogi Bhajan people hosted about a year ago. So if this woman has been influenced by the Yogi Bhajan people in these anti-Sikh practices, I encourage Sikhs to talk with her and to guide her into the correct teachings of Sikhi and instruct her about the Sikh Maryada as well, which I'm sure the Yogi Bhajan people have not done. This was an actual Hindu wedding that Gurmukh sponsored there in Rishikesh with these 3HO people. You can see it here. And Yogi Bhajan was a horrible example for these 3HO people, because here he is here back in the 70s participating in a Hindu Homa fire puja with this Swami. So this Gurmukh has taken her lead from Yogi Bhajan's actions. And then these famous 3HO people, they do these artis there in Rishikesh. And Yogi Bhajan himself had a Hindu last rites ceremony there in that Rishikesh. Same Swami here, by the way, who perform this Swami is influential in the 3HO group, and 3HO people host him all the time there in Espanola and other places in the world. There's Yogi Bhajan's family there, his wife, 2 sons, his daughter, and then some other 3HO people that participated in these Hindu last rites. It was at the Pramatna Kirtan ashram there in Rishikesh. Yogi Bhajan also participated in other pujas. You can see here his wife, daughter, and son-in-law, all with these tikas on their foreheads, which is this eye of Shiva, which means devotion to the Hindu god Shiva. These are close-ups of that Hindu last rites. So the 3HO people take after Yogi Bhajan's example, and they participate in these worships of Shiva and yoga, activities, even worshiping the Shiv Lingam. And the Hindus love this because they say, hey, these 3HO people, Westerners, are carrying after the Hindu tradition here. Here's these high-ranking officials in 3HO getting a shawl which has Hindu Om printed on it from this same Swami who gave the Hindu last rites to Yogi Bhajan. This is again that same Swami with this Gurmukh car there in Los Angeles, and she actually hosted a Hindu Homa fire puja in her parking lot there, a yoga studio in Hollywood. You can see there the Hindu gods and goddesses behind them there on the stage. This is that Sadhu from the Chardikala Jata. You may have heard about them. He's accepting a shawl with the Hindu Om on it and the blessings of this Hindu Swami there in Rishikesh, same Hindu Swami. Here's some close-ups of that wedding, Hindu wedding there in Rishikesh, with these 3HO people getting tikas on Eye of Shiva on their foreheads and getting the blessing of the Swami. And they're all dressed in Sikh bana. They call themselves Sikhs. In fact, they use Sikh names, Singh, Kar, Khalsa. And they go on like this. And here's Gurmukh Kaur evidently trying to convince this couple that this wedding is okay, and that looks like she has some image of Guru Nanak Dev Ji there, probably telling him that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a Hindu and that this is okay to do these Hindu weddings. I'm not sure exactly. But they shouldn't be doing these weddings if they call themselves Sikhs. SikhNet goes along with all of this. And here is this RSS chief. They're being given a gift of this history of Hinduism by this same same Hindu Swami there in Rishikesh. So they are colluding. And that's that same Swami there in Espanola, where he's been hosted to do these Aquarian Age Peace Prayer Days, they call it there. And SikhNet sponsors these things and goes along with all of them. The 3HO people think nothing about participating in Hindu ceremonies and temples. This is the mother here of Guru Jagat Singh, I think is his name there, who's a principal at Midipidi Academy. And she was instructed by Yogi Bhajan to go visit the Hanuman temple on Thursday each month in Taos. She's supposed to be a Sikh. This is just really amazing. So this is how the 3HO people twist Sikhi, and how they twist these teachings of Sikhi and put Yogi Bhajan's nonsense in there. Yogi Bhajan told her evidently to take a bunch of bananas, $108, all Hindu practices. So don't be fooled by the Yogi Bhajan people. I really encourage, again, this woman who seems to be sincere about wanting to be a Sikh, to really explore and find out what Sikhi is really about. It appears in this picture that she may be at some yoga festival, the way it looks like. And these people in the background, they look like they're all dressed in white, and they're probably participating in some yoga festival. So she's probably, no doubt, been just introduced to Sikhi. And again, I encourage her to look beyond what these Yogi Bhajan people are teaching her. Thank you for your time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.